fiction, science fiction, horror, fantasy, crime, LGBT, thriller.
You have now entered the House of Mystery.
Welcome back to the House of Mystery. I'm Al Warren. Mr. Dave Martino is co-hosting today.
I am. I'm here.
It's exciting. Yeah, you made it, finally.
Yeah, I made it, finally, yes.
Halfway through the day. It's only noon, whatever. I don't know what you've been doing, but,
Well, I had to take a nap in the basement of the House of Mystery. And
nap?
Woke up late.
You're doing too many of those Diddy parties.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. Yeah. I can't talk about it, though.
No.
NDAs and all that stuff.
Yeah. But people can tell by the way you walk.
Yeah.
So we've got a badass with us today. So we've got, she's got a couple of books. She's got the Grammys going on. Let's talk about all this stuff. So Glenda, Benevides, thank you for being here.
Hey guys, thanks.
Well, so Glenda, been to any parties lately? Oh, this is terrible. You know what? I love it. I'm getting inundated. We got like 5 to 10 emails a day from people trying to get on the show to talk about Diddy, and trafficking and stuff like this. But it's just, I'm ignoring most of them because I don't want it to go that way. I don't want to sit there and just talk about it. Not only that, we don't really know, I wasn't inside. I wasn't invited like you guys, but.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
They saw me and they said, no, sorry. I wasn't even allowed to the outside party. Never mind the inside.
You weren't allowed at the gate.
Yeah. They were like, no, you get off this road, buddy. No.
Back up, Alan.
Yeah. Like stick back away from it's like, sorry. Yeah. Garbage delivery. No, I don't know, man.
Well, part of it, Alan, was you were not wearing white.
I guess not. Well, nobody wears white after Labor Day unless you're at the Diddy party.
That's still a thing?
Yeah. Well, it has to be. It is for me.
East Coast. East Coast. Yeah.
I still live in the 90s. I don't know what's wrong with me.
So does he.
Boy, I'll say, but we laugh, but does that kind of hurt the whole music industry in a way?
Oh, yeah. It really does. I think it's really, for me, as a longtime artist, singer, songwriter, author, that type of thing, you try to do your best work. You try to make a difference. As an artist, I'm thinking of myself as an artist, not necessarily as a brand, right? I've only started to, wake up to business aspects of it from the last 10 years. And then you come along and you've got your reality and what's going on. You've got other people's realities and you start seeing stuff. Then when the dirt comes into the upper echelon, and the carpet's been shook and then everybody looks like, oh my God, there's dead bodies under there, and rat infestation, you start going, oh my God. And it kind of, on some level, it crushes you because you're like, wow, these are the people that are leading the industry, these are the people that are getting awards and things like that. And it just kind of grosses you out. And I think it's going to be interesting, cause right now we're in the middle of, we finished voting first round for Grammys. So that didn't see his name on the ballots. Anyway, so, we'll see, because then next phase is round 2. That's where the nominations happen. And then once you're nominated, I'm up in San Francisco area. So we'll have a nomination party. So basically everybody will come out from our area, which is San Francisco. And we also couple up with Colorado. So then everyone will fly out. We'll have a big to-do. So it will be interesting to have conversations with people about this. Like, I'm just curious what other people are thinking. We're not really talking right now, but we've just heads down and, voting and that type of thing and trying to make a difference. I mean, we have a whole arm of Grammys that actually, we go into legislation and we fight for the rights of, all of us and just really trying to get our paycheck, really, and that's been really challenging. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wonder, because I think that I don't know, because there's so many bad things out there, right?
Yeah.
And it's so easy to just pick on groups. It's very group mentality nowadays, right?
Yeah.
You start getting R. Kelly and then Diddy and stuff like that, and all of a sudden now they're all bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
All you musicians are terrible.
Yeah. Which is super sad, because it's not necessarily like that. It's only the few at the top that have really taken the business, right? They've learned from the business guys that really have no talent, and then they know how to utilize themselves as a brand. And then they get bigger, they get greedier, and then you start hanging out with the people that are abusive, and everyone thinks they're above the law, and, next thing you know, you have a mess,
That's, I've been living that way for 30 years. I better watch out. So what's going on? The Grammys, you guys all have done your first round of votes, and I guess, does that lead to the nominations like the first round?
It does. Then they throw everybody into a pile, and then the ones that get the most votes, I guess it's supposed to be by merit, right? Right. And it's supposed to be by merit. And then what happens is, then the ones that get the most votes in certain categories, it could be 5 different people that are nominated. So let's just say I'm in the roots category. So we'll see what happens and how the votes tally up. And then everybody's like, so there should be like between 5 and 6 people in each category. And then everyone has a celebration, and then they do another, I guess, behind the scenes voting. So I don't know who that is. I don't know if that's the record companies. That would be really sad. Because they'd be like, no, my people need to have the nomination. Who cares if the song is good? So yeah, we'll see. I'm learning more. I'm like year 3 now into being a Recording Academy voting member. So we'll see. I mean, it'll be really interesting. But there's a lot of really talented people that I have the opportunity to listen to and work with. In our chapter, and I love that aspect of it as an artist. And there's a difference between being an artist and being a business person. Sometimes they cross over really well. So you can, ask Billy Joel that. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, right? Mm-hmm. So it goes by merit. I think she was at the Diddy party too.
No, she wasn't, Alan.
Well, I didn't say she got on the inside party. But,
she was at the gate.
She was at the gate. She got to the party with Howard Stern, where they were just like outside. Sorry, you can't go inside, and that's terrible. Just
horrible. Oh my God.
Stuff. I never get allowed to.
They probably thought, we don't want to see him naked.
No.
We don't want to record that.
No. There are enough problems that it is. Dark enough in the world.
Right.
Do you like the music scene right now? Do you like what's going on in the music, or do you think it's kind of better than, worse than? You have so many people that say so many things like the music today is terrible, and Taylor Swift, she takes people say a lot of bad things about her, and it's terrible, and you know what I mean. Like it's the star of the day and stuff. And
sure.
I don't know. What do you think about the music business right now? Artist wise, not so much as in that, but just as an overall. Is there a lot of good stuff out there now?
It's probably not going to see daylight, because first of all, once the internet happened and we had the opportunity for all of us to do our own CDs, our own promotion, our own marketing, guess what? They swooped in, big companies came in and said, oh, you Spotify. Oh, why don't you just join our platform? You get visibility, which is lies. You just spend money and spend time and wasting. So there's that aspect of it. Again, the big 3 right now, the big record companies, they're doing their best to, of course, stay alive. But I think a lot of times what happens once you join in that venture with those guys, Yeah, you may get marketing and all this other stuff, and then you've got to pay it back. It's a loan, basically. And a lot of times people don't know that. I'd say it's better to go to the bank and get 2% on that, $100,000 that you're going to use for marketing. It's like, don't be foolish. They own you and they will own you. And if they see that you're valuable to them and you're at the right age or whatever, and you're compliant, you get the right producers, right songwriters, then you could rise to the top. Doesn't mean you're going to be wealthy, and so that's kind of the disintegration of the industry. Plus then it gets very prefab. It doesn't, that's why a lot of people say, oh God, the music is horrible. Now, on the other end, like when you join the Recording Academy, which is a club to get into. Illuminati. No, I'm joking.
Of course, we all know that, right? Yeah.
So once you join, there's ladders to climb. There's doors to go through. There's secrets, and it's really interesting. I find it quite fascinating as an artist, and I do hear really good music, and I do hear really shitty music, if I can say that.
Well, you can't, but that's okay.
Okay, whoops, beep. So, because I'm listening to a lot of the stuff, I think there's like 20,000 of us, 20 or 40,000 Recording Academy members. Most of us get to participate and vote and that type of thing. And, I don't know if it works or not, but it makes you feel good. I voted, just like, presidency. I voted. So I hope that answered your question. There are some amazing artists, and I would vote on them for merit. And there's some that are just lazy as all get out. And you're just like, why did you do a cover song? Like, stop that. And it's not even unique, which blew my mind, because when I was coming up through the industry, I came from working class people. So I wasn't on the inside in LA, doing Disney or anything like that, climbing the ladders as a child, but
climbing JT
as a traffic child.
Yeah.
The whole idea was, no, you write an original tune. I mean, like all the artists out there, everybody from U2 to Billy Joel to Whitney Houston, they either had fabulous songwriters or that had amazing hooks, or they had the ability to do those things, to write those hits, to write those hooks that everybody, you can listen to, CCR or something, and as soon as they start, you go, I know that tune. I know that band. I know that name. Now you don't know. It's just some prefab, auto-tuned something. But behind the scenes, like I definitely have had the pleasure of listening to some real artists, real artistic humans that actually created a song, wrote it, recorded it, and performed it. So.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah, right. They're looking for that quick hit, with the cover tunes. Is music streaming getting any better for artists, or is it still pretty dismal?
It's dismal. Yeah, you don't make anything. Yeah, I had like 60,000 streams on one of my songs, and anybody else in the business would go, 60,000, that's amazing, And if that would have been 60,000, like for every dollar, guess who would have had $60,000? But I think it's like 0.003 on every stream, and the rest filters up to the top. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, yeah, it's bad. I would just say do it yourself. Get some money, do your own marketing, sell, perform. It's kind of old school, but that's really who's making the money now. You got to have merchandise. You got to like my books. Like I've got Courage, Find Your Fire and Ignite Action in Your Life. It's like I had to write about that. I had to write about the story that, each story. How do I have clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and community? How do I have that? How did I get that? How do you sustain that? And then once I had that clear in my mind, I'm like, I'm going to write about this. And then I told stories about my journey, playing music and touring. So yeah, it was fabulous. It was what an awesome experience. And I don't think people get that much anymore.
Well, is there any P. Diddy stories in your books?
I wish I probably could sell more.
Well, you should just hashtag P. Diddy.
I should. Oh my God. Hashtag, / missed the white party.
Yeah. Kind of the dirty white party.
Uh-huh.
Well, so listen, you got these 2 books.
Yeah.
Did you write them? Is it therapeutic? Was it more something for yourself? You know what I'm saying? Like going through the process and writing down these things, it sounds very important to you. So was it something you wanted to do for yourself as well as put it out in a book?
I didn't even think about doing that. I kind of started with a girlfriend of mine in my kitchen, and she said, you're a real badass goddess. And I said, oh no. Like the first thing I was like, no way, it's like, no. And I stopped myself and I said, you know what? Why don't you just own that? Like, what does that mean to you, being a badass goddess, And so I kind of took that on. I started a podcast. I started a bunch of other things. And then I had a bunch of girlfriends that would always come to me and they'd ask me questions about, this and that. And I would like, oh, well, what have you thought about this? And then after a while I thought, well, do I really have something of value to share? Not only through my music, but through actual stories and my journey. And, so I sat down, I said, okay, how hard would it to do a book? And I was like, it's hard. No, at first I thought, this is crazy. So I just did like an outline and I thought, well, what does it take to have clarity, courage, confidence, commitment, and community? And through that's when I started my outline for Courage, Find Your Fire and Ignite Action in Your Life book. And then it took me like 15 days to write it. And I was kind of proving something to myself at that point. So, can I do this? I'm dyslexic, so can I do this? Do I really have something of value? You kind of sit with yourself on that. And then, and I did that on the East Coast, actually, when I was in Boston and working with music with Gene. And, I wrote it and then I went back and I rewrote it and then I rewrote it again. And then I sat on it for another 6 months because Gene moved out to the West Coast here. So we could have our own studio and everything, like officially. So we were here and then I shared it with a really good friend and who was also my coach. And she said, this is really good. You should put this out. And so I got an editor and she helped me focus in and I did that and that's out. And so it's been fun. And then I decided to, do like a little, addendum to those, to that courage book called Own the Goddess Within and Soul on Fire. So both of those books are also out there. They're really, really affordable on Amazon. So, you can check that out. It's just kind of like a little self-help type of inspiration each day for, Own the Goddess Within and Soul on Fire. Things that you can do to take care of yourself. So.
Right. And avoid the parties.
Yes, avoid the white parties.
Well, you never know. Sometimes that works too, right? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. What am I supposed to say? What do you want people to get out of these books then? Is there something who's this book aimed at?
At this point, I think anybody, but, I pretty much, I do feminine focus. So, a lot of times as ladies, do not create ritual in our life or really take the time to go, oh, I just need to take care of myself. And I think that's across the board for everybody, but most times women, we tend to, get busy, you're working, you got kids, you got this happening, that happening. And next thing you know, you're completely burnt out. You look like hell. And, you don't take the time to organize yourself enough to take care of you. And it could be, for any reason, guilt, whatever, not knowing how to schedule your life, and that can be a real antagonist in your life by not creating a schedule, to put that in. So both of those books, I feel like it kind of gives like little inspirations, to just start to look and understand like who you are, what is it that you really want, and how do you want to drive your life.
I better read this. I'm in trouble here, so I better read this.
Okay, that's $4, not a problem.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but I can afford it. I can get the book for $4 and get a little jar of Calgon, and put it in the bath. Calgon, take me away.
Yes, and you would be amazed if you did that.
Yeah, I tell you, and Calgon nowadays is not popular, so I can get it at the dollar store. So
Can you really? That's classic. Be careful.
So for like under $10, I've got it made. I mean, because the other $2 or $3, I can get some of that strawberry wine.
Oh my God! Then you're set up for that party.
I'm set up, for Diddy doesn't know what he's doing. I mean, it's not a real party.
You need to bring your own baby oil, though.
Yeah.
They don't have enough.
Yeah, like what is that?
Ooh.
120, like what is going on there?
Yeah, like what did he say? They said it like 1,000 bottles or something.
Yeah, what is going on? I mean, how? I mean, what? What? I mean, holy cow.
Ooh.
I don't even know what, Dave, what's he using it for?
I'm sweet and innocent, Al.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
I just got a word for you. Petroleum. Okay?
Oh.
Petroleum products.
Boy, I guess so. So what's going on next for you then? You got the books done. Have you got music you're working on now?
No, because I'm in another season. I'm working with a company, a little bit with a company down in, LA. What a fabulous person too. He's old school, man. He's been around forever, but he owns a huge catalog, and the company's called TVS, and they put out like kids music, all kinds of stuff, and they have all these he has licensing for a lot of these old school tracks from like the 60s and 70s and stuff like that, and he's putting them back out, and then some of them for kids. So it's pretty fun. I've been doing little bits and pieces with them there since he owns the catalog, and so that's just silly and fun. So that's what I'm doing. Looking towards, with my own personal catalog, being able to do sync film and television. That would be fabulous. That's another nut to break into, but yeah, and getting ready to do my, I'm pulling together right now a multimedia hybrid project, which has live music, singing, performing type of thing, but it's also embellished with video and voiceover stuff, and it's just really, really, really dynamic and more along the lines of edutainment. So looking towards doing either retreats with those or going into big companies like, Google or somebody like that really wants to support women in leadership, or just overall, helping people to like really get really interconnected and feel their most, aspect out of their empowerment. And that kind of, it's called Soul on Fire. And it kind of goes with my book, Soul on Fire, The Power of Owning Your Full Self-Expression. So yeah, that's what's next.
Well, that's good. I mean, it's good. Keep it going and
thank you.
See where it turns out. Why don't you start having your own parties? I hear there's an opening now. If you think about it.
Well, actually,
here's the address. So how do you make it in the world today? Are live performances doing well, or do they still kind of go well?
For some people, again, it's really a class system.
Oh, yeah.
If you're, Beyonce, yeah, it's going really well. If, you're the guy down the street with the acoustic guitar, you may be playing for free at the coffee shop. So I have my own, because this was a conundrum. So I have my own venue that I've created. It's more of an intimate kind of an experience. So I put on my own shows for right now. I also do festivals. I bring people in that way and sell my merch and my music and get to connect with people, and just have everybody have a really amazing time together. So that's kind of what I've been doing. You kind of have to make your own way and take a lot of B12.
Get the injections, right? It's faster,
Mm-hmm.
and well, you could always play Coachella. Isn't that the place to go nowadays?
Yeah, but that's not my jam.
No, I know it's not anybody's.
That's not my jam.
I look at that and go, wow. I don't know.
Well, I guess if it was like 16 or 20, that would totally be my jam if I was playing the right music.
Yeah, you see, I think it gets to where it's not even really,
Yeah.
it's not about the music. You're just hanging out there, and
Exactly.
it doesn't really matter what they're playing.
Exactly.
Stuff like.
Plus, it's easier with DJs too. You can just,
Yeah. They can do their speed and
Yeah.
I'm terrible. I am so terrible here.
I'm sorry. I don't think I want to drive out to a desert and try to get high and drink.
Yeah.
It sounds dangerous to me.
Yeah.
It always sounded dangerous. But again, I'm a singer songwriter, so that would not be my jam.
Yeah. It doesn't even sound good to me 30 years ago.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe I'm just an old. So what do you think? Any of the old bands that you like doing the comebacks, like Motley Crue or any of those that are out there that you kind of like? What's going on?
You would just die. I decided that I was going to vote in rock this time. Rock, and you have to vote in it, of course, in a category that you're familiar with. You can't just I'm going to vote in mixing. It's like now. You vote in the category that you have experience in. So I have experience in rock and jazz. And this is how fun it is, you guys. So I'm in rock, right? And I'm scrolling down, listening to new music. I'm like, cool. And then all of a sudden, you ready for this? Ozzy Osbourne. Ready? Judas Priest. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, they're all submitted their stuff for Grammys this year. It's pretty funny. Blink 182, I was like, oh my gosh. The Killers.
Oh.
So
Well, I know
anyway.
Judas Priest had it now. I remember.
I like the new album.
Yeah.
Yeah, is it good?
Yeah.
I heard the track, yeah, so.
Yeah. It sounds all right to me. And
Yeah.
Rob Halford, he's in that Salem's Lot too, eh? The movie.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
What?
He's in one of those.
The new one? Oh, now I got to get back and watch that.
Yeah, he's in one of those. It's pretty funny. But
Wow.
Sebastian Bach has a really good album too now.
oh,
His
yeah.
new one.
Skid Row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know. Motley Crue. There's been a lot of bad talk about them too, right?
Yeah. I think were they in it too this time? I think so. Yeah. I think I saw a track on there. You listen and, Heart was on there. She had a live album right now and it was beautiful. They did Mr. Win and I was like, oh my God, this woman is phenomenal singer. Phenomenal. Yeah. To this day. And this was a live album.
Yeah. It's true. I know they just got together and they started the tour, but then the one had cancer.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
And had cancer, so she had to stop and
Oh.
do the chemo and the treatment and all
Oh,
that.
goodness.
Yeah, because I heard them on Howard Stern and they did some stuff
okay.
and they were going to do, and then
Wow.
she got that. But apparently, it's gone well, and now she's past treatment and it's turned out okay. So they're going to go.
Okay.
Well, you're badass. I mean, I gave up the fight a while ago.
You're so funny.
Yeah.
You gave up the fight.
No more taking a break.
Are ya?
Yeah, no,
You're not going to head on out to the, which is not too far from here, the Bohemian Grove? You're
No.
not invited? What's up?
no, nobody invites me to anything anymore. You know?
That's the owl party, not
No,
the white
yeah.
party.
Yeah, that would be the dark party. No,
Yeah.
I'm just
Exactly.
updating the IMDb about they're doing all these shows and stuff. And I think 10 years ago, I was interviewing all these really big people. I was at the in crowd, and now I don't get even invited to Bohemian Grove.
Alan, that's horrible.
Rituals, burning owls, and all that. I don't get any of that anymore. I go, where's Al?
But Dave does that, right, Dave?
Well, Dave, you can't get enough of it.
I can't talk about any of that stuff.
Yeah, he knows the way out of the Diddy Party ranch without them even catching him. He was there and he escaped. They didn't
All the
even know
secret
it.
exits.
Yeah.
Secret exits.
Yeah, and he took the Weinstein plane and he's done it all.
Wow. We'll have to talk offline. I want to hear all the dirt.
Oh, it's just nasty dirty. Boy, I'll tell you.
Nasty dirty.
Eminem will be singing about him next. Yeah. Take the P out of rapper. And oh, that's awful. Anyway. Well, people, you gotta get this. There's a couple of new books. Own the Goddess Within.
Yes.
And Soul on Fire. The Power of Owning Your Full Set Self-Expression. There, see, I'm learning to read still, So we appreciate you being here. Now, let's give out your information. So where do people find you? Like, do you have a website? Do you have a streaming site? Do you have a thing that you prefer people to go to?
Oh, baby, I got it all.
That's right. Yeah, I've heard this, so that's why I just throw it out there.
Yeah, super easy. Just, if you want to go to my website, it's glendamusic.com. Real simple. Takes you right there. You can, read about my interactive show that's coming out. You can, lead you down the path to books and the white parties and all of it. Wow. So, it's pretty easy. I'm also on YouTube. So if you just, Google my name, Glenda Benevides, for that type of stuff, it's Benevides. But my website's glendamusic.com. It's a lot easier. You can do both. So, but I'm everywhere. Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. It's all there.
Been there, done that. That's great.
Yeah.
You on TikTok yet?
I am on TikTok. I don't post. I haven't strategized that yet, but I do have an Instagram page, of course. We do a lot of marketing there, Instagram, and yeah,
that sounds good.
Easy.
Yeah, well, we'll put it up on our website so people can find it and they don't have to,
right.
look too hard. A lot of our listeners can't really write too well, so it's good to have just a link and they can kind of click on the link.
Just a QR code, and we're all
and then they're used to that, right? It's just terrible.
I love it. You guys are so funny. I love it.
Well, Glenda Benevides.
Yeah.
We appreciate you being here, and good luck with the Grammys. Hopefully you clean up on everything.
Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, Dave. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Glenda.
This has been a production of the House of Mystery Radio Show. To find out more about our show, guests, or hosts, go to our website at houseofmysteryradio.com.